Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Brooklynite TV podcast. I'm your host Frank, and today I'm going to dive deep into a contentious topic that's been at the forefront of political discourse in recent years. It's the fear amongst the left and globalists regarding a potential second Trump presidency. This apprehension just isn't a passing concern. It stems from the broader implications of retribution and accountability that a Trump administration could bring. As we unpack this, we'll examine the claims of unfair treatment Trump has faced, including the controversial FBI raids on his residence, and how these events have fueled the narrative that he seeks vengeance against those he believes have wronged him. Let's start by considering the context of Trump's presidency and the aftermath of the 2020 election. For many, Trump's election in 2016 was seen as a disruptive force against the political status quo. His populist message resonated with millions who felt neglected by traditional political elites. However, the backlash against his presidency was fierce and relentless, culminating in unprecedented impeachments and various legal challenges. Fast forward to 2024, this election cycle, and it seems that the specter of Trump looms larger than ever, particularly for those on the left who fear the consequences of his return to power. One of the pivotal moments that crystallized this fear was the FBI raid on Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in August of 2022. The FBI's actions stirred outrage amongst Trump supporters who viewed the raid as an egregious overreach of governmental power, a politically motivated attack on their former beloved president. What heightened the stakes was the nature of the raid itself, where agents reportedly went through personal items belonging to Trump and his family, including items that held sentimental value, such as his wife Melania's delicates. This not only felt like a violation of personal space, but also a blatant display of aggression towards a political rival. The optics of this event served to galvanize Trump's base, reinforcing the narrative that the establishment was willing to go to extreme lengths to undermine him. The fear of retribution is looming large. It's rooted in the belief that if Trump were to regain power, he would not merely seek to govern, but would also actively pursue those he perceived as his enemies. For many in the political establishment, this idea is more than a hypothetical scenario. It's a genuine fear and concern. The message coming from Trump and his supporters often suggests a desire for accountability, a demand for justice for what they view as a deeply unfair political witch hunt. This creates an atmosphere of tension where political figures and bureaucrats alike worry that they could become targets if Trump were to take office once again. This sentiment isn't limited to Trump's base. It extends to globalists and progressive politicians who fear that Trump's presidency would dismantle the system they've built over decades. They worry about a potential shift in power dynamics where a Trump-led government could instigate investigations into actions taken during his previous administration. The possibility of exposing alleged corruption or misconduct is a daunting fear and a daunting prospect for many in Washington. They do not want him to win. They do not want him to win. It's evident. With Trump's repeated insistence on draining the swamp, those entrenched in that swamp in the political establishment see a clear threat to their power and influence. Moreover, Trump's approach to governance has often been characterized by a penchant for confrontation and a willingness to challenge norms. His supporters view this as a refreshing departure from conventional politics, while his detractors see it as a dangerous precedent. Yeah, for them. The fear is that a second Trump presidency could unleash a wave of retribution, not only against political opponents, but also against bureaucratic officials who may have played a role in the investigations against him. This creates a chilling effect within the political sphere, where individuals might hesitate to speak out or take actions that could be interpreted as dissent against Trump's administration. Additionally, the media landscape plays a significant role in shaping these fears. Many media outlets have depicted Trump as a looming authoritarian figure capable of wreaking havoc on democratic institutions. This portrayal feeds into the fear of retribution, suggesting that a Trump presidency could lead to purges of government employees, punitive measures against critics, and a broad consolidation of power. They are not merely attempting to prevent a political rival from winning, they are attempting to save their own ass. to stave off a potential reckoning that could reshape the political landscape for years to come. The stakes are incredibly high, and the fear of accountability for past actions looms large for the Democrats and the globalists. As we approach the upcoming election, the question remains, will Trump indeed seek retribution if he regains the presidency? Now, many supporters of Trump argue that the gag order imposed during his trial represents an unjust infringement on his rights to free speech and due process. They saw it as a way to silence him, claiming that it undermined the fairness of legal proceedings. This perception is compounded by the belief that the trial itself was politically motivated, with critics arguing that the charges against him were exaggerated or fabricated. The overall sentiment among his supporters is that these legal challenges are not just about accountability, but are part of a broader effort to diminish his influence and prevent his return to power. I mean, it's evident, people. Just take a look at what they did. They view this situation as not only unfair, but also immoral, as it raised questions about the integrity of the judicial process and the principles of justice in a democratic society. While it's easy to speculate based on his previous statements and actions, the reality is that a significant portion of the electorate is drawn to his message of holding the powerful accountable. For many, Trump embodies a challenge to the status quo, an agent of change who promises to confront those who have wielded power irresponsibly. In conclusion, the fear of retribution in the face of a potential Trump presidency is a complex interplay of personal, political, and ideological factors. It reflects a deep-seated anxiety within the political establishment and among globalists who fear the consequences of a leader unbound by traditional norms. President Barack Obama, former President Obama, might feel some anxiety right now and concerns about the implications of Trump's potential retribution against him for spying on his election and other things, and other key political figures, including the Bidens, what they recently did to him, and the Clintons, as well as institutions like the FBI and the CIA. They should be concerned that a Trump victory in November will look for skeletons in their closet that stems from the historical mistreatment of him and his administration, suggesting that a Trump win could embolden the vice actions. The claim that Obama spied on Trump's campaign through the use of the fake Steele dossier has been a subject of political debate. They knew it was fake and they used it against him anyway. Supporters of Trump have argued that the FBI investigations into Russia interference, which included the dossier, was politically motivated and unjust. Critics, however, assert that the investigation was warranted due to legitimate concerns about foreign interference. It's all bullshit. How can they worry about foreign interference when they knew they paid for a fake story and then they pushed it? It can't get any more clearer than that, people. It's important to approach such claims critically, considering the context and the investigations that have taken place surrounding those issues. The dossier compiled by Christopher Steele was a collection of unverified claims about Trump and Russia. While it did play a role in investigations, allegations of direct spying by Obama were politically charged. It's understandable how Trump could feel aggravated given the tumultuous nature of his presidency and the controversies that surrounded him. Many of his supporters believed he faced relentless scrutiny and what they perceived as unfair treatment from various institutions, including the media and political opponents. This perceived bias may foster a sense of victimization, leading to feelings of anger and resentment towards those he believed conspired against him. Such experiences can intensify the belief that there is a concerted effort to undermine his legitimacy, contributing to a polarized political environment where grievances are amplified. So as we move forward, it's crucial to consider not only the ramifications of a second Trump presidency, but also the implications of how we navigate this fraught political landscape. Will accountability prevail, or will fear dictate the course of our political future? That remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, the tension surrounding this issue is far from over. So, as I wrap up today's discussion, remember to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends and family if you like it. It's crucial to stay informed about the dynamics at play in our political landscape. If Trump does win the 2024 election, there could be significant repercussions for those he believes have wronged him. The fear of retribution isn't just a talking point, it reflects real concern the Democrats and the globalists have right now about accountability and power shifts. Stay tuned as I continue to explore these pressing issues in future episodes. If you found this discussion engaging, again, feel free to share it. Your thoughts and insights are always welcome. So take care, everyone, and thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.